anchored. Redemption.
My name is Matt, and I live for moments like these.
Guys, I killed the biggest buck of my life this morning.
I'm far from an expert, but using persistence and a little bit of luck, I'm able to make some pretty cool things happen. I do my best to capture the entire harvest, the kill, the prep, and my favorite part, the meal. Because to me, it's more than a hunt. It's man versus deer.
He is a mass monster. Holy cow.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another man versus deer video. If you're new to the channel, really appreciate you guys taking the time to check me out. And if you like hunting videos in the style of catch, clean, cook, go ahead and subscribe. You're gonna like the other stuff that you see on this channel. Well, guys, this morning I'm set up in a field that typically has birds this time of year. I don't know if there's any roosted over here or not. I tried to roost some last night, but I was unsuccessful. It was radio silence all over the place. A couple things I got going for me. I know that typically there is a bird roosted in this spot, and I know that typically they like to strut on the side of this field that gets a lot of sun, which isn't where I set up. Well, this morning I made a move and set up in the area of that strut zone that gets a lot of sun. So my hopes are that if there's a bird roosted over there, they fly down and do their same thing. And hopefully we'll be in the game this morning. Got plenty of places to roam. If that doesn't happen, we'll get up and go looking. But hopefully we hear a couple birds sound off and get in the game early. That's the plan.
Guys, I have not heard a single bird over here. And these birds across the road are answering me. They're hammering and they're hot. And I'm just getting a sinking feeling in my gut that this place is no good. That's where I need to be. So I'm gonna migrate over there and try to sneak my way. I'm gonna listen and be slow and methodical about it. And I'm gonna try to get in the middle of some of these birds. Run and gun style, I'm just gonna take my hand decoy with me. And we're gonna see if we can't get into some. But I really think this is the right move. As soon as I leave here, probably be 6-7 strutters in this field. It's just how it goes, but come back and check on them later. Okay guys, I'm on the same side of the road as those birds. There's a good little glassing spot I can shimmy up to up here. So I'm gonna get to it. It's overlooking a little green field. Should be really close to where all the gobbling was going on. All I've got with me is, besides my cameras, is a hand decoy and a tail fan. As many birds as I heard over here, tail fan could prove to be pretty effective, so I brought it. But I'm gonna sneak over here and see what I can see, hear what I can hear, and hopefully we got some turkeys to get after. Well guys, it's been about 15-20 minutes. I've yet to have a bird answer one of my calls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slip into this creek bed over here. And there's 2 more fields in front of me. I'm just gonna kind of creep up to the edge of them and see what I can see. This very, very far field in the back is historically good to me in the late season. And so I've got a little corner where this field meets a creek bed. There's a big old field behind it. I've had really, really good luck there in the past. So I'm just going to start kind of slowly making my way there. Wind's starting to pick up, so I want to get back to that spot before it picks up all the way and birds can still hear me call. So that's the plan. Let's get after it. Man, this is the bad part about filming your hunts right here. Running and gunning. Really hard to do by yourself with a big old camera. No sir, I don't care for it. But when it all comes together, it sure is fun to sit back and watch it.
Well guys, today is beating up on me a little bit. Haven't seen any birds. I really can't say that I've heard any that I was in the game with. I heard some this morning, but they pretty well shut up by the time I made it over to them. So I don't really know where they are exactly. The only thing I know to do with the wind picking up is to get in a spot that I know birds like to end up in mid-morning and just kind of sit and call and wait. So that's what we're going to do. And hopefully we can put eyes on a turkey or two. Just had a bird gobble, I think, behind me. Which would be weird because I walked through that creek bed to get here. How crazy. So that bird gobbled again and he's closer. I flipped around and put my decoy on the side that he's coming to. That is so crazy. I walked that creek bed. I got down in it and walked because I thought that there might be birds up in the brush, but it was loud, you know. Should have spooked any bird out of there. But now we're working one. Unbelievable. Well, that's embarrassing. Clean miss, no feathers. Bird flew to the next county. I'm not sure what happened. I was set up for a bird facing this way. He gobbles from that way, so I switch my decoy. He ends up making a big circle around me and coming back to where I had my decoy in the first place. And then he sees me because I was set up to be concealed that way, not this way. And he starts kind of putting and walking off. Well, he stops to look back. I spin around and I settle really good right where the feathers meet the wattle. And when I squeeze the trigger, I was like, that's a dead bird. But apparently not. Not sure what happened. I did hear another bird gobble over here, really far away, but I'm gonna stay here, let it calm down for about 30 minutes, call again, see if I can't get that bird to gobble and come in. Frustrating. You make all the right decisions and get lucky, you know, a little bit, and all just to miss the shot. That's super frustrating.
It seems like that happens to me one time a year on this side of this property. I'm unlucky on this side. I don't know what it is. I killed a bird in this spot twice as far a couple years ago, and I biffed an easy shot like that. Not sure what happened. What can you do but get on another one? Anchored. Redemption. Thank you, Lord, for that. I needed that. I don't know if that's the same bird or not. I don't care. Tagged out 2023. What a show. Well, guys, here he is. Really, really nice gobbler. He's got a 10 or an 11-inch beard. His spurs are probably just under an inch, but they're really sharp, really pointy, and they're kind of curved. Really neat looking spurs. He's got a massive old head and body on him. He's plus 20 pounds. I wouldn't say how much over that, but really long snood too. I don't know if that makes a difference in age or anything like that, but just a super big, old looking bird. Really, really neat. And the way this hunt played out this morning with me missing one and then killing this bird about 40 minutes later, I just feel so blessed. I want to give all the glory to God. It's been an insane morning. Started out not hearing anything. No gobbles at all, except a few across the road. Came across the road, everything shut up. I just went to a good spot and started blind calling. Had one gobble in the creek bed. He ended up coming in behind me, kind of making me out. And when I shot at him, he had his back to me and he was kind of putting and walking away. And so I'm sure I rushed that shot, but I missed that bird. And he flew to the same exact corner of the field that this one came out of 40 minutes later. I think it might be the same bird. I did hear one other bird gobble way off, but I think the odds of that are pretty slim. I think this may be the same bird. I think he was just really lonely. Don't really care at the end of the morning, you know. Dead longbeard is a dead longbeard, but I really do in my heart believe this is the same bird. And he never gobbled again. If it is, this bird came in silent. I just started blind calling,
and I look to my right, and there's a bird at full strut at 100 yards coming into me. Could have killed him way before he got on camera, but I was after that really good camera footage, and so I let him walk in front of the camera. He was only about 20 yards, torched him. So very, very thankful, very, very blessed. I'm gonna pack this guy up, get him home, and hopefully I'll be able to put a few more turkeys down on camera for some of my buddies. I'm tagged out, but it's been an awesome season. And today just really reinforced that you can go to a spot where you know there is birds and blind call and still have success. It's super easy to get like really discouraged like I was today, especially after a miss. But if you're in the right area and you're calling, it can happen. Sometimes it will happen. Awesome. Well guys, before I head to the house, I have something in mind I've been wanting to make for a long time, but I need some morels to do it. So I'm gonna take a little walk. I got a nice little hole up here, and we're gonna see if we can't find some morels. I typically have the best luck finding these like around elm trees, or these trees that grow on like fence rows and under these kinds of bushes. And we actually have one right here. I'm gonna pinch it off. Need a couple more. Welcome back to my kitchen, guys. An incredible hunt like this calls for an incredible recipe, and that's what I think we have today. I've never tried anything like this, but we're going to shoot from the hip, and I think we're going to make something that's really, really good. Essentially what we're going to do is we've got a turkey breast with the tender part of it removed, all cleaned up, and I've got some morels here and some cream cheese. We're going to combine the morels and the cream cheese. We're going to season it up, and we're going to stuff this turkey breast with it and smoke it. I don't see how with that process any of that could be bad, so let's get after it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our morels and we're going to chop them up really nicely here. We're just going to kind of give them a rough chunk. And these morels have been soaked in a saltwater solution for about an hour and then put in a bag, and they were just in the fridge overnight. That saltwater solution kills any bugs or anything like that that's in them. Okay, got those morels all cut up. I've got some cream cheese that has been softened just a little bit. That's going to go in there. I'm going to hit it with just a splash of W sauce. I don't know how you say it. I say Worcestershire. If that's right, put it in the comments and let me know. And then the seasoning that I'm using for today is Kinder's. It's called The Blend, and it's a GSP seasoning, garlic, salt, and pepper, but this is one of my go-tos. Really, really like it. So we're just going to hit it with a dash of the seasoning. And then we're going to start trying to fold all this together. I don't want to be overly hard with this because I don't want to powder the mushrooms. I'd like some of the chunks to kind of stay intact here. But we do got to make sure it's all mixed together. Okay, that is all mixed up. The mushrooms still stayed pretty chunky, which I liked. And we are going to get every bit of that goodness inside of this chicken breast. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to butterfly it open. And we're going to start with this really thin section right here. And I'm just going to make a small incision all along this edge right here. And it's basically going to be like we're trying to butterfly it, but I'm not going to go all the way to the ends, right? So I'm going to push into that incision and just kind of lay down until it opens up a little bit. And I'm going to work from that opening and I'm basically going to follow that almost all the way down, but I'm going to stop right at the ends because I want that to not butterfly and open up all the way. I want to make a little pouch is all I'm doing here. All right, once we've got that done, we're gonna take this little rubber spatula and we're gonna start spooning our mixture in there. We're gonna shove it back in there. I'd like to get all of this in there if possible. We're just gonna push it in there. Really stuff it good. All right. So I got about 4 or 5 toothpicks here. I'm just gonna run them through and close that off to where it's not gonna open back up. This is hopefully gonna do a good job keeping all those juices from the mushrooms and the cream cheese inside of that cavity while it's cooking. Last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna hit the outside of this with that Kinder's GSP. And we're gonna be pretty liberal with that. Make sure it's really nice and seasoned. Mind those toothpicks when you're patting this in if you're following along at home. See, we had a spot where we went too far through on this part here. That's okay though. We're going to cover it all, and since we accidentally went through on this part, we're just going to make this the top side. That way it doesn't fall out the bottom. We are ready for the smoker. Okay guys, we've got our smoker at temp. Temp is 250. This is going to go in here until it hits an internal temperature of 165 at the thickest part. Okay guys, this thing just came off the smoker. We pulled it at 165. I'm not gonna waste time. All I'm gonna say is the smells that are coming off of this thing, you would not believe. It's got some nice pink on the inside. Not from not being done, that's that smoke penetrating. It's got a decently crispy exterior too. I did turn the heat up from 250 to about 300 right at the end to kind of get a little bit more crisp on that skin. And we're just going to kind of carve this thing up until we start getting into some of the filling in here. And then we're going to, of course, taste test this thing. Now that's a good looking piece right there. Okay. This is exactly what we were after. You can see all that stuffing in the middle. Cream cheese, morels, smoked turkey breast. I bet this thing is going to be amazing. I'm not going to waste no time. Let's just dig in. It's messy. It looks messy, but I'm telling you, the smells coming off of this thing, they're amazing. So we're gonna jump in. Dang, that's good. This is a pro move right here. There's some of the stuff that's kind of leaking onto the cutting board. Take your other pieces and you sop it up like a biscuit and gravy. Well guys, that was a mighty fine piece of turkey. The hunt was amazing. This dish is amazing. That's definitely something I would make again. I can still taste the big chunks of morels in there. The cream cheese picked up a lot of smoke. That Kinder's garlic, salt, and pepper, it's really doing a good job and put a nice seasoning on the outside. And the outside has a little bit of a bark to it. I mean, it's just a phenomenal dish. I think if you try this, you're gonna love it. With that being said, guys, that brings us to the end of this video, and it's been a fun one. Again, I want to give all the glory to God. If you guys are curious about any gear that I use, if you guys are curious about where to get man versus deer hats or hoodies, all that stuff is available via links in the description. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out a man versus deer video. God bless and good luck in the woods.